Here we are with Dave Wilber to looking the Museum of Milan, the piece of the Museum of Milan.
Absolutely.
And also Mr. Pezzotta, the curator, is showing the piece inside the museum.
Scepters, right? Three scepters. Look at the snake. Holy cow, look at that.
And this appetite from the same pocket.
Very good from the. And this is Italy?
No, this is Madagascar. I brought from Madagascar.
Yes.
And this was the opening of the pocket. And this was the same piece right after keeping out from the pocket.
Unbelievable.
Yes, and now it's here.
Fantastic.
And I show you here, this one is probably the best Londonite crystal in the world.
Oh. Do they call that rhodocite?
In the past it was rhodocite,
Okay.
but this is the cesium dominant rhodocite. I named Londonite, it was approved by IMA.
Good for you.
6-7
Is it named after a person or something?
David London, research professor at the Oklahoma University, working on experimental petrology and pegmatites.
See, I would have died to have this thing when I was collecting. I had one that was about this big. Then it was called rhodocite. Then I saw at the, I think it was Munich about 4 or 5 years ago, they had a little batch of it. So that's the best I've ever seen. Never seen it.
Federico, can make a small trip for our friend of the here on this room to show the crystals quickly, 1 minute with him. A quick, rapid, another here, like this. We see all quickly the crystals of the Milan Museum.
French.
These are French. We see.
That's a fabulous museum.
These are fluorite from French. And these are the famous sulfurs.
That's the biggest single crystal.
The biggest single crystal in the world of sulfur. Also the other are high quality.
Somebody always comes up.
This was reported in American Mineralogist in a paper in 1974, reporting the biggest crystal in the world of the different species, and this was measured. So anyway, probably the best.
There is something other special for them to show to the video. Some other.
I bought a few years ago.
Not yet.
Vanadinite.
These are nice. This is all good stuff. You have the vanadinite from Morocco. You have
Morocco.
dioptase from Africa. Oh, it's azurite. They did look metallic. Is that a Sumev one?
Yes, all the stuff from Sumev, yes.
This is fluorite. Here we have another fluorite.
This is beautiful
Outside.
Ilvite from
Ilvite.
Seriphos.
That's good. Nice big cluster.
Seriphos in
Big
Greece.
specimen.
Yes.
Greece island, famous for such crystal. Here is a little dark. There are barrels inside. The light is not good. Here we have amethyst gold. And here, this is a special demantoid from Valmalenco, Italy.
Fabulous museum pieces. Is that actually an asbestos material that they used to call mountain weather?
Yes. Yes.
It is asbestos. I have a nice small
Here we didn't show the topaz, the big topaz.
big topaz. I get it from this angle.
And the angle. With topaz.
And it's more than precise and the lovely thing. That's a fine work.
But we didn't stay for the top with the action of the museum, the Rose of Asia. Here, Dr. Pezzotta and Dave Wilber are looking the Rose of Asia.
Absolutely magnificent.
Which word do you like to use for this piece?
Absolutely magnificent. One of the best minerals, period, in the world.
This is-
Certainly
sure.
one of the upper end minerals in the world. Never seen a tourmaline of this size with this many side prism crystals coming off of the base of it, and the size of the crystal with the transparency to allow the light to penetrate all this distance of the crystal. With the light coming down on it, the crystal literally grows in color. The color just bounces out there. There's no chips, no nicks, no Wilbers, nothing wrong with this piece. It's absolutely what you call the perfect specimen. If this was a thumbnail, you'd love to have it. Here you have the largest, finest tourmaline quality-wise I've ever seen beside one specimen. I would have to see the two together. But this specimen here, I consider absolutely unbelievable. Another thing, it's hot pink color. How many big hot pink tourmalines do you see in the world? You don't see this. You see nice small ones, 5 inches or so. But the other color, nice rubellite, I've seen a few real killers of that. But this color in large side, no damage. And one other thing I like about this is the balance of the specimen with rather large side prisms. Not just ones just going up along with the crystal, but you see these jetting out, right out of the lepidolite matrix. You got a little bit of albite at the base there. And what you have is all perfect, undamaged, no breaks. Then you have these little spots of rosettes of lepidolite. It's unbelievable. The whole termination is absolutely perfect. There's not a nick on it. Then what you have is a white bordering that goes around the outside. However, it's really I don't want to say raspberry, but an intense rose pink color. And it's all you do is have the light going through that, and it speaks for itself. Another thing that's so great about it, for such a large tourmaline, you don't have any of these internal fractures running across it. Usually there's so much stress when you have a large crystal like that, you're bound to get some cracks running through it. The whole thing has this glowing, pinkish, perhaps a little bit salmon color. It's an unbelievable piece. I've never seen anything like this. I saw this crystal though on display at another show, and they didn't have the right lighting on it. Piece has to have a light on it. Anything great has a good light on it.
So you was happy to see this piece?
It was worth the trip just to come here. I live in Tucson, Arizona, and I'm not making this up. If the only reason to come to see this piece was this trip right here, because when I saw it in Munich, and I happened to be there on other business, I said, that is a major specimen. It's all it needs is the light. Something wrong with the lighting. It's not picking up any of the pink the way they had it displayed. Now that I see it in its full advantage for display, it is one of the great minerals in the world. And I really mean that. It's one of the finest specimens. I would have to get this one and so forth, but this would certainly be among, probably of the world, one of the top 100 specimens. No question about it.
And also the Milan Museum is having a pleasure to have you like a guest to visit the Milan Museum. It was an honor for Dr. Pezzotta that invite you here to see really all the stuff.
And another thing, I'm so impressed with the overall museum because, you know, I heard of it, but there was not much mention about it years ago. Yeah, there's a museum in Milan, Italy, but what I see and hear, a number of about as good as you're going to find of the species. You've got certain things in here that are absolutely powerful specimens. It's a must if you're touring the museums of the world and want to know where the great minerals are in the national museums in each country. This museum is a must. Put it on your list. This is not a secondary museum. It's a main museum, and you must come and see that. There's lovely things in here that are literally, if they're not the best, and just very simple. See this morganite here? That's a lovely morganite because it's thick. It isn't just a flat tabular type crystal. And for a museum purpose, that just happens to be a very fine, large, cleanish looking morganite. Not for the transparency, but for the size and just a beautiful shape. It's just
for display. For display, yes.
It's a museum display.
Educational purpose.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right. Absolutely.
So thank to David and to Dr. Pezzotta to stay with us, okay? And we make a photo now and we say hello to everybody. Bye, bye, bye.